So, I bought this little tips and tricks book a while back, and I don't think I ever actually properly showed it off. But yeah, so tips and tricks, February 2006. Think you can beat this guy without our help? Well, considering I've never played Gauntlet 7 Sorrows and I don't have it, yeah, maybe I need your tips. Mario Kart DS custom emblems you can use. Peter Jackson King Kong unlock everything. Stuck in Tokobot, your questions answered. So it's pretty cool that these things were a thing. Back then. I mean, this was 2006. This was YouTube just released a year earlier, so you didn't really have video walkthroughs, and of course you had online walkthroughs, but I'm sure they weren't ultra popular. If you were a kid, if obviously these aren't aimed at like 20-year-olds. These are probably aimed at like more like 15-year-olds. If you were a kid, maybe you didn't have a computer, maybe a computer was too expensive, maybe all you had was like a DS and a PS2, you know or maybe not even a DS, maybe you had like a Game Boy Advance and a PS2, and you needed to figure out what to do, but you didn't have a computer at the time to figure it out. This might do the trick. So let's look through Dead or Alive 4, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Does anybody remember Dead or Alive 4? That was one of the weird ones that didn't get as much acknowledgement. I know I have Dead or Alive 3, everybody talks about Dead or Alive 1 and 2, and then you kind of jump to 5. So Dead or Alive 4. So it must have been a very early 360 release. Play the hottest 3D games on your VCast phone. You remember that? I sure don't. Yep. Back when flip phones had games on them, you had to send your I think you had to like send your credit card information to like a phone number, and then you'd get the game on your phone or something. I don't know. Yeah, Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. So, Xbox PS2. I definitely never actually heard of this game until now. So it shows you just some walkthroughs. Ooh, design form versus function. So it's got a bunch of stuff. PSP holders, stuff like that. The PSP just released 1 year before this. Just released 2005. Got the 360 storage case, which is kind of pointless, honestly, unless are you really thinking about moving your 360 around a bunch? More stuff on Gauntlet. Ooh, try to keep up. Sonic Riders. Who needs wheels when you've got air? Coming February 2006. Good game. Fun game, Sonic Riders. Tokobot on the PSP. So I've never heard of this. This one is one I've never heard of before. But hey, I've got a full walkthrough here if I ever needed it. A giant walkthrough. So they really go in depth. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. You remember that one? I remember that one. This one actually, it was seen as one of the really good licensed games at the time. But again, full-on walkthrough. In case maybe you didn't have internet. I mean, if you had internet at the time, there'd be no point to actually buying this, because you could easily just go and go online and find a full game walkthrough. On like GameFAQs or something. But hey, if you didn't have computer, you could read through chapter 25, and maybe figure out where to go from there. Cheat codes. See, Mario Kart DS emblems, shortcuts, if you really need to know that. Using and abusing mini turbos. See, okay, so that's fun. I know that. That's why you would never play Mario Kart DS online, because that was the game where what was it called? Snaking, where you would the drifts were so quick to pull off. So you'd be going left and right, left and right. You go drift, just like that. Drift to the right, drift to the left, drift to the right, drift to the left, and you get like these just back-to-back speed boost, speed boost, speed boost, speed boost. suck to play online. I never got to play online, but I've heard horror stories of playing online. Bunch of shortcuts. Custom emblems. Shigeru Miyamoto, Phoenix Wright, Jack Nicholson, the Burger King mascot. See, and you know what's funny is like, oh, these are cool. Until you find out, I mean, they're bitmaps. So you'd have to, if you want to get Shigeru Miyamoto on your DS, you'd have to individually dot out every single square. So once you know that, you're like, oh, never mind. And the fact that you're probably not going to see these very often. Most vehicles, it's on the front of the vehicle, so you're only going to see it in the race win screen, and it's, the camera's kind of hovering around you, so it's not like you'll be seeing a huge amount of it. But you can get Kirby. Tips and tricks. $166 a month. $5.99. $5.99 for this thing. Think about that. Think about that. San Andreas Chronicles. A bunch of stuff about San Andreas. Tons of stuff. Halo. Halo 2 Insider. Halo 2 Your Way. Oh yeah. Elite Snipers. Sergeant Johnson's Foxhole. There's stuff about that. Select game previews. Oh man, what games are coming out? Remember, this is February 2006, so let's see. So, Me and My Katamari on PSP. Alright, Full Auto. I used to have that. Tourist Trophy. Pac-Man World Rally, fun game, still have that. The Rub Rabbits, that's a weird game. That was a very weird game. Shadow Hearts from the New World, never heard of that one. Pursuit Force, Full Spectrum, Docking Guard, True Swing Golf. That's a game I kept seeing in dollar bins. Monster Hunter. Ape Escape 3, that's a good one. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, that one has a lot of issues, but I still like. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. You got tons of stuff here. Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble. Samurai Shodown 5. Pinball Hall of Fame, hey! Then look at this. So this shows every single game releasing for, these current platforms. So, Outrun 2006, Coast to Coast. Hey, I'm down for that. That was a fun game. Reader Mail. So, Token of the Month. Stuff like that. Gaming gear. So there's that Xbox 360 thing. To cash in on the Nintendogs craze, Nintendo recently issued these collectible trading card packs. Never heard of those. PSP case, weird Mad Catz 360 controller. Remember Mad Catz? Gaming 2 Go. Oh boy. All the best and greatest games you can get on your Nokia flip phone if you really wanted to. Mega Man. Online Gamer. Call of Duty 2 online multiplayer for Xbox 360. Call of Duty 2 being the first Call of Duty game to be released on Xbox 360, so of course they really went all in on online. That would have been a fun game to play online. MVP Baseball 06. Online co-op revealed. Sports Center. MVP 06. MLB 06, The Show. That might have been one of the first MLB The Show games. Cheat codes. Japan Report. Wario controller. Gotta get the Wario controller. And look at this. Revolution TV Remote. The controller for Nintendo's next-gen game console. Codename Revolution has been a hot topic of debate amongst gamers since it was revealed last year. Some critics have blasted the TV controller for its resemblance of a common TV remote, but Nintendo's designers are firmly committed to the idea of reaching out to non-gamers who may be intimidated by complex game controllers. Wow. Man, that Revolution, that's gonna be real cool. I can't wait to play Twilight Princess on that. One Commander, Street Fighter Pad. Half-Life 2 Survivor. Super Mario 20th Anniversary goods, yes! Gold Nintendo DS. Oh yeah, the Xbox 360 Monuments, those are cool. Final Fantasy World, just a ton of Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 12, the demo in depth. That was a PS2 game. Tons of Final Fantasy 12 stuff. New Final Fantasy 11 monsters. That was the online one, I believe. I believe Final Fantasy 11 is the one that was online only. Could be wrong though. Collector's Closet. Ooh, auction action. Gauntlet Legends 64 game with collectible features, $91.99. Wow. Gauntlet Legends N64 game cartridge only, $1.25. Holy crap. I think that game goes for like $30 or $40 now. That's really funny. Castlevania Symphony Night PlayStation original version, $224. Castlevania Symphony of the Night PlayStation game greatest hits, $15.97. That game goes for like $50 now. Like $50 to $70. Amy Plush. That's from the that's from the Sonic Adventure line of games. Collecting Game Boy. Game Boy Color top 10 rarest games. Flintstones Burger Time and Bedrock. Smurfs Nightmare. Hey, it's a fun one. And then look at this. Tons of cheat codes for every possible console you can think of. PS2 cheat codes. This goes crazy. Tons of PlayStation 2 cheat codes. Keeps on going on and on. GameCube. Tons of GameCube ones. Xbox. Just keep going with these Xbox tips. Game Boy Advance. Let's see if I can find... There we go. Ed and Eddie Jawbreakers. So... See, you know, if you ever need to get some passwords into Ed and Eddie Jawbreakers, this has got you covered. Let's see, does it have Sonic stuff? Oh, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. There you go. You ever need level cheat codes? You're like, man, I'm stuck on the Sandy Robot boss. Oh, thank God I got this cheat code. This code. Nintendo DS tips. Look at this. DS was only out for a year. And then you got tons of codes. Oh, Xbox 360 cheat codes right down here. Right down here. Only 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 cheat codes. So remember, the Xbox 360 just came out at this point. You know, this was February 2006. The Xbox 360 was like November of 2005. So this just came out whenever this, you know, Amped 3, Quake 4, Need for Speed Most Wanted. That's a fun game. PSP tips. Again, PSP came out just a year prior. Game Shark codes. Remember Game Shark? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That was a thing. Mystery codes. Crash Tag Team Racing. What we know. These codes are entered in the same manner and give the same confirmation sounds as the rest of the Crash Tag Team Racing cheats you'll find in PlayStation 2, but we haven't been able to identify any changes in the game. So this is kind of a neat thing. Just like how do you find these? That's the big question. How do you find codes like this that do absolutely nothing? I play, I win, I gloat, I kick back, I catch a movie, I hear some tunes, all thanks to one little card. Oh yeah. God, when memory sticks used to cost like how big is this? How big is this? 512 megabytes. I'll definitely be catching a movie with 512 megabytes. Oh yeah. And then again, this was on the PS3, so... Or PSP, so maybe movies were a lot smaller on there. Sonic is here! all new action figure line. It's about time. Oh yeah. So there you go. You know, it's cool to get these things. I'm very glad I spent $8 on this because it's really cool to get these things. You know, it's you're traveling back in time to a point in time where, you know, computers weren't the most common thing in the world still, and, you know, maybe to some people you had to buy a tips and tricks book. You know, and, you know, back then you didn't have a phone that had all the answers. You had maybe if you wanted to beat this guy, you had to get a tips and trick book. You know, or if you really wanted Jack Nicholson in Mario Kart DS and you really wanted to go through the effort of putting a color into every single box, then you had to get this tips and tricks book. So there you go. That's it.